home. Please do not leave your animal at home outside in the backyard. That is the major way in which we lose our animals. They get very freaked out and scared, and they go running. They break through things you don't think they could break through. So leave them inside and give them a safe place to be. It would be best if that can be kind of insulated or further away from the sound, if you have a good sense of where the sound direction would be coming from. And this is where I love a crate. So a crate, a lot of people I talk to, they're like, oh, I don't want to crate train my dog because it just seems so cruel, like he's in jail. Well, a crate can be a very safe and loving place for an animal. If it's too late now, you can't try it today, but in the long term of their life, when they're going to be sick or have illnesses, it would be great to start making a crate a piece of furniture in your house with the door open most of the time and lots of yummy treats in there and dinner and breakfast in there. So they start to see that as their place, and it keeps them safe when you are away or when they have loud sounds like fireworks. Number 3, if you are going to be home or you're not going to be home, but you want to calm your dog down, there are a couple things that I use for calming dogs, and this can be good whether or not it's fireworks time, you just have an anxious dog by nature. I would suggest you look into 2 particular sprays, but you need to be using them for a few days at least before the 4th if you can. They're called Relax for the male dogs and Tranquil for the female dogs by Dynamite Specialty Products. They're wonderful, but they do, you do need to like have them build up a little bit. That would be helpful. And then you want to also wear that dog or cat out. Like some cats are very nervous of the sounds too. So you want to get them exercised about double the time you normally would, and do that in the early afternoon of fireworks day. A tired dog is usually less reactive than an untired dog. So that is something to try. People ask me all the time, does CBD work? Well, I do use this CBD. It's called All Paws CBD. For me, it works some of the time, and some of the time it doesn't. So that's why I try to triage and use 3 or 4 different methods. I want you to look into how serious do you notice the reactions to loud sounds being from your dog or your cat. So I posted a video on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, I think yesterday, of my dog Liberty, who has like residual fear of loud noises, and she's in general a more high alert and what I would call naturally wanting to be anxious dog, although we work on it a lot. So she's very calm generally, but sounds freak her out. So one guy next door popped off a firework yesterday, and she was shaking for a long time, and you saw me doing some tapping. Tapping is a combination of talk therapy of what I know is wrong. You don't have to be an animal communicator to do it. Combined with tapping on some common acupressure points on the face, neck, head, and chest of a person or an animal that kind of respond to stress, anxiety, fear. I tapped on her for about 20 minutes. If tapping on your animal is something you want to learn more about, I would be happy to do a small group tapping explanation session. So post in the comments if that's something you want to learn, and we can figure that out. But you can also look it up online and try to do it yourself, EFT tapping for animals. And then really when we're moving into an animal who you know is not going to be okay and you've lived with them for a long time, the tapping, the exercise is important. A lot of people find success with leaving the music or the TV on high in their own house. And if they are home, playing with, distracting, trying to have fun with their dogs and make it almost like a party, but inside the house, that can work very well as well. For some dogs. So everything is a trial, and you see what kind of happens for you. And then I want to say it's fine to comfort your animal. Comforting is very important, but not, oh baby, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. That, when you tell a dog it's okay, or a cat it's okay, you're telling them it's okay for you to be completely freaked out. You should be completely freaked out. That is what they take from it. So your manner needs to remain calm. Your behavior needs to remain calm. And in addition to that, you can tell them you will be all right. I am here for you, and we're going to make you as calm as we possibly can. Now, when we move into, okay, I know I've tried many of these things before, Kara, and none of them seem to work for me, or they work very limitedly. Then we move into the heavy guns, right? It is fine for you to ask your vet for calming or sleeping medicines for your animal if they don't have any other health conditions. Talk to your vet now. It is June 27th right now. Talk to them now about getting medicine that will allow your dog to make it through the night without breaking through a glass window, without jumping your fence, without disappearing, or in some terrible cases, having strokes or heart attacks because of fear. Okay, that is possible. I know Liberty's going to have a hard time. I have 2 other dogs who do not have a hard time with fireworks, so I hear you too. But please don't take your dogs to fireworks displays, because even on leashes, they can get away and get lost. And then I'm gonna use this, which I don't know if you can see it, but it's called a thunder shirt. And it will kind of press on her nervous system. It has a couple of places on the body that they've worked out, like these little thunder spots, right? That really give her extra pressure where we can calm her down. That was about $44 on Amazon. I use it actually more than just for fireworks, right? So when I know I'm going to go on a walk with her where she's going to have a lot of exposure to a lot of other dogs and she tends to be a little nervous, this just keeps her contained, right? So what am I going to do for my Liberty, who is very anxious on the 4th of July? Number one, I'm not going out for a fireworks display myself. I've seen hundreds of them in my life. I'm fine. I may do it again, but I would always, if I'm going to go away, I'm going to leave her in her crate and I'm going to make sure she's super tired before I do that. This year, I'm not going to be gone during fireworks. I'm going to be doing tapping on her every day, and also tapping on myself, EFT tapping, about me being worried about her jumping out of her skin. So I have to worry about that, and I need to let go of my fear of that. And I'll also be tapping on her about being less reactive to the sounds she hears outside of our house. I can help you with that if that's something you want to know about. And then on the day of the fireworks, I am going to make her super, super, super tired. I'm going to leave loud sounds and like white noise in various rooms of my home. And I know which neighbors run off the fireworks. They're to the right of me here. So I'm going to move her as far away from them as possible in the house once it gets dark, or I start hearing those sounds. I'm going to put her thunder shirt on, and I'm going to have loaded her up with a little bit of the Tranquil spray that I talked about earlier. And if I have to tap on her for 20, 30, 40 minutes, what I discovered when we went through that little bit of fireworks the other day is that once she got out of the room where she could hear the sounds the most, she calmed down generally. But moving their space away from where they've just been frightened can be very helpful.